Peak that new intro. Peak that new intro. God, I was getting so much shit in the private chat for that. I'm not changing that music though. That music is fire. I don't give a shit.
I like how the intro has you arguing with Das in the background.
I know what else,
baby.
What else is new?
Nation.
What else is
50% transparency, you yelling at
Bro, no, 100% I'm beyond it, Das. It's nothing.
We all just did a bunch of whippets. We're ready to go, baby. We're ready
American
to
Waffle
go.
fans, you will find TJ at EDC Las Vegas this summer.
Hey.
Yo,
Hey, bro,
Coachella's next week. Coachella's next week.
Bro, I thought it's whatever. I don't give a shit. You guys can say whatever you want, baby. Welcome to episode of American Waffle number 70. I don't know why I said it like that. We are going to be talking about the fact that Liverpool has no form, and Das cried about it all weekend. Arsenal play Real Madrid tomorrow, so me and Will are going to talk about that before Will goes and takes a nap. And then United and City made me take a nap yesterday because it was so fucking boring. One of the worst games I've watched all season. And we're going to get into that. And to help us break that game down, if you can break that game down, we have Sheik TV joining us. Big up Sheik for the raid, as usual. My brother.
He's a real one. Sheik's a real one.
Whenever Sheik can join this show, he will be here. And if not, then we're just going to have to deal with Ahmed. And
no worries, man. Sheik,
big
up to Sheik, man. He's a UFC guy, so we respect UFC guys.
Fake Canadian.
Yeah, we do respect UFC.
Appreciate that, man. Big up to be here.
But we don't respect guys like TJ because he's an Arsenal fan. You know,
hey, respect TJ. Man.
You,
bro, I've done
his club.
You see
that beta? He's confusing the. I wonder why, but hey, we'll keep it pushing.
See, here we go. It's
here we go already.
Wild.
Okay, so before Will has to go and clean his room, let's talk about Arsenal versus Real Madrid.
What is there to talk about? This isn't even a fucking game.
Why are we talking about this game?
It's a game. It's a game.
Get absolutely
it's a game tomorrow at the Emirates.
This is
next page.
This is like
First
talking
page,
about
Arsenal nil, Real Madrid 12. Second page, shut up. Simple as that.
Illegitimate and 3-0. It's going to be a 3-0 Real Madrid.
Liverpool
This
beat
isn't
Real Madrid.
This isn't about Liverpool. This is about Arsenal.
You can tell that we haven't had a show in a while because these guys are.
Yeah, I know these guys. It's crazy. Yeah.
Don't you dare say
was gonna be
that
crazy.
Liverpool beat Real Madrid and Arsenal are a better team. Don't you dare say that.
I'm not gonna say that, but I'm not gonna say we're gonna get killed. I'm not gonna say that.
Well, I mean, just give your butts to Mbappe. So what are you saying?
You know what? I'm moving.
I'm down. Different PSG. This is bullshit. You got Ahmed, who's not even fucking American. You got Will, who's here for like 25 minutes before he's got to go hang out with his family.
Listen, don't worry, man. Listen, you know what? Don't worry, put me in.
Just for that, we're putting him in the V.
And somehow he's above he. Okay, whatever. This is ridiculous.
It's your attitude that landed you on the bottom row, my friend.
That's okay.
It's your attitude.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Mike does a little better.
All right, but good.
Don't let them make you feel bad, brother. Trust me, we're not gonna smash you guys.
I don't feel bad at all.
Oh, here we go. Everybody's bad. Let's go.
But we're not gonna just dominate Arsenal, though. Nah. And to be honest, I don't think that we win tomorrow. Just being very objective, I think it's gonna be.
Oh my god. Underdog high.
Underdog high.
I mean,
Real Madrid doing underdog in the UCL, bro.
This
Come on. The game's gone, man. The game's gone.
This is exactly how the game is going to go, Will.
Did I not just say that we're going to go through? I said that we're going to knock them out, but I don't think that we win the first leg. I think we draw, and then I think the second leg we'll beat them 3-1. I think it's
exactly
tomorrow.
No. We're not going to sit here and have you gaslight us so that you can't speak with chest and then later say, oh well, I could point back to this and say, oh, you were talking all this shit. You're playing the whole safe route thing. That's fine.
Yeah.
Here's what's going to happen. Arsenal. Hold on. Here's what's going to happen. Arsenal are going to control the game, right? They're going to have controlled possession. They're going to be dominating, scintillating, threatening. They're going to be on precipice of a goal.
Field tilt in their favor.
This is what's going to happen for 87 minutes. And then in those other 3 minutes, Real Madrid are going to have about 120 seconds of good football, and they're going to score 3 goals. And then you're going to go into the Bernabeu, and you're going to do the same thing, repeat. Arsenal will be controlling, scintillating, on the precipice, and then you'll go and you'll score 3 goals. And this will be a very, nice, easy, tidied up ride.
But to be honest, though, bro, like we've been asked this season.
Oh,
brother.
Yes, you've been asked, but then even worse.
Look at who they're fielding out though. They don't even have Gabriel. Gabriel is their best center back. They don't even have Gabriel. They have to play a Kivior. They have to play a Kivior.
All right, no, let's hear from Will. Let's understand why he
DJ.
believes he will only be able to get a draw at the Emirates. Let's hear it from Will.
Hold on. If you put me in the 10, Ahmed on the right, TJ up front, and RSM on the left in transition, we'd get a goal against Real Madrid.
I disagree. Ahmed on the right not doing anything. I disagree.
Arsenal.
Hold on.
He stands Madueke. He stands Madueke. You think he's doing anything on the right?
My favorite player on the right would be Joe Cole.
Ahmed on the right. Why are we putting DMs on the wing, man? The game's gone, man.
You think Mikel Merino is gonna fucking score?
Madueke hype right now in the middle of an Arsenal.
Well, so here's the thing, though, right?
This might be a wildest take.
Arsenal are very good at, and I'm never happy like when somebody gets injured. But the Gabriel injury is very welcomed because he would have definitely scored a brace on us. Like we can't defend set pieces. We're shit from corners.
Yo, Vader's so dumb.
I don't get how you're upset, brother. We have
Like I'm
maybe
just to hear those words.
Maybe we need to get this into your head, mate. Maybe no. Will, we need you. Will, you need to get this into your head, bro. You may be shit, but Arsenal's only just worse than you. Okay, that's what you need to understand. That's as simple as it gets, bro. There's no other way to put it.
To the weekend? Who'd you lose to, DJ?
We didn't lose.
They drew to Everton.
Who'd you drop points?
We drew
Everton.
We dropped points. We dropped points.
Still losing.
That's nothing new.
Guess who lost to Valencia for the first time in 17 years at the Bernabeu, 2-1.
Vinicius.
The 15th Valencia. Guess
but
who
this is what you do.
with
This is
Real
what you do,
Sociedad?
Will.
Fucking no, bro. But here's the thing, though. I've never, except for the 2020-2021 seasons, Zidane's last season, I've never seen.
Yeah, man. You know what it is, Jacob.
I've never seen us look this bad. This is why I'm Carlo out all the time. This is why I'm Carlo out. Like I've never seen us look this bad.
Carlo out is crazy when you guys
we are going to advance. We are not.
And you're gonna
always cooking Carlo Ancelotti, man.
We're not getting knocked out of the quarterfinal.
Can you talk about your guys though? Why can't we cook Mbappe for being poor? Why can't we cook Vinicius Junior? Vinicius Junior. You should be cooking those players, rather than cooking Don Carlo. Respect Don Carlo.
Because hold on. We could talk about Bellingham kicking his teammate after the game was done for Valencia.
There's no tactics. There's no adjustments. There's no substitutions. It's just eyebrow raises.
Who cares? He did that last year and gave you a UCL. Stop.
And the Premier League and the league.
No, last year is so much different because last year I had Toni Kroos controlling the midfield.
So then it's a recruitment issue. It's a recruitment issue then, isn't it? It's a recruitment issue. That's the problem.
But my squad is still good enough that we should not look this shit 9 months into the season. I could probably count on like one hand how many good games that we've had. We've literally struggled this entire season. We've not looked convincing. Again, we are going to beat Arsenal over these two legs. But what I'm saying is for everybody that thinks that we're going to just go and it's going to be like a 7-1, 6-2-1 aggregate, that's not how it's going to be. It's going to be like a 4-3, 3-2 aggregate and we go through. But we're not going to just go there and just dominate them. No, we're not.
You don't need to dominate them.
We're going to score 3 with Mikel Merino? Mikel Merino as their striker?
No, on aggregate. Like
on aggregate.
Yeah.
But even then, though.
I think we scored 2 goals. I think we scored 2 goals max the entire.
I'll even go as far to say those 2 goals will be at the Emirates. I don't even think they score any at Bernabeu, if I'm being completely honest.
I think they get one at the Bernabeu. I think they get one.
You're based in an Arsenal side that does not have the mentality, okay, for rising up to big games. They don't have new UCL heritage. Respect yourself, man, for once in your life.
You know that I just won my first big game like last week.
Respect yourself, bro. This is like
disrespectful. I just won my first big game of the season, Ahmed. I lost 4-0 to Barca.
How is Real Madrid getting?
Hold on. I lost 4-0 to Barca, 5-2 to Barca. I didn't beat Atleti until the penalty shootout. We lost against Liverpool. I lost against Lille. I lost against AC Milan. I've lost against Valencia. I've seen more losses in the last 3 months than I saw in the last 18.
So you just did you've done a Chelsea. So what? You still no. It doesn't.
Yeah, but Will, I could even argue like in a lot of the seasons where some of them I guess where you did win the Champions League, you weren't the best team, but you always
when it comes to UCL,
when it comes to UCL, it's all about finding a way to win, and that's what.
Boom! It's out of the window in UCL.
Yeah, that's what
No,
you do
wait,
best.
but it's
Like
not
you don't
just
have
the-
to be the best team in both legs. You just have to be able to find a
but
team.
I
Oh, wait,
understand.
Look at Liverpool, man. They were in so much form, but you know what happened afterwards, man? Crashed out to PSG.
Packed up. They got packed
Wait,
up.
All we're gonna end up doing is win the Premier League. That's it. That's all we're gonna do.
Wait,
Yeah,
they packed
man.
up.
That's a
But I'm-
stupid old Premier League, man.
never
Shit league,
No,
innit?
man, just a stupid Premier League trophy. Who cares?
Shit
about
league,
that
man.
fucking
Shit league.
stupid league?
I've just never seen us look this shaky aside from Zidane's last season. Like that's just it.
And guess what? Zidane won in his last season.
Nothing.
Oh,
We're
I thought it was-
trophyless.
yeah,
Hey,
oh, yeah,
Ahmed, you were wrong on that. No, Ahmed, you were wrong.
I got cooked that one. My bad. My bad. I got cooked that one. I tried to go. I hope I can do something. Something there. My bad.
Oh man.
All right, no, I want to go
wait.
through. I want to go through the entire panel and give predictions after Will's done waffling and saying
No,
that
go
we
ahead.
have a chance. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No. You have no chance. But at the Emirates, you have
Yeah.
a chance. To lead.
Dude,
So
I don't
all of
know.
that
At the
waffle for you have no chance. So what
Exactly.
the flip are you talking about? I almost swore that, man. Oh my god. Yeah.
4-2
Big up Mike's
aggregate.
football club.
Us.
Worcestershire. Sadly,
Dude,
I don't know anyone in Worcestershire. Sorry.
I think it's hilarious that you think we're gonna score 2. I think we only score 1, 2 max. 2 max.
Do you think Saka
And I
scores?
don't
Do you
think
think
it's
Saka
gonna go-
scores?
No, I don't. He's
I
not
think that
fit.
you'll be surprised, TJ, at how many chances you get.
I
The game's
think
tomorrow,
we're gonna.
right?
I think we're. Yeah, it is tomorrow. Tomorrow.
Okay.
You'll be very surprised.
Yeah, tomorrow
how many
8 o'clock.
chances you get.
Okay.
Amazon Prime, baby.
But don't worry
see.
though. Raul Asensio masterclass, hopefully.
I don't know. Do you know who your backline's gonna be?
Yeah, it'll be Courtois in goal. It'll
Yep.
be Valverde at right back, and then it'll be Asensio, Rudiger, and I'm hoping that it is either Camavinga or Fran. But it's who knows though, because Tchouameni's suspended, so that might mess some things up for us.
Damn,
so,
bro, y'all running Valverde into the ground. That brother got 500,000 miles on him.
Hey, look, bro.
Damn.
That's
I
Prime
already
makes
picked
him
up a
out.
knock. Didn't he
Prime
pick
makes
up
him
a
out.
knock last week?
Miles, bro.
Didn't he pick up a knock last week?
Nah.
I heard that he might. No.
Well, his ankle
I
got
was hope-
stepped
I was-
on, and
I
he
was
hurt.
hoping
Hands
so.
losing
I was
Kelly
hoping
Blue Book
so.
value.
But nah, like he'll
Yeah.
be good though. Don't worry.
Yeah, he's losing Kelly Blue Book value like a used Honda
Who's gonna
CRV.
Starting at center back.
Yo,
for you,
that's
though.
the car I got. What the
It's gonna
fuck?
be
you
Kimmy.
doing?
That's
What are
hilarious.
we doing here?
Nice.
You're not-
Those cars
man.
have value. What are we doing?
I think the only, and I literally had no idea that you drove that. That's actually hilarious. My
Oh,
bike-
that Marshall. Oh,
really
that
is.
Marshall.
He looks like a
Um,
Civic CRV guy.
That's my
Wait,
last
what do you
car
mean by
before the
that? What do you-
CRV. Yo, can we
what do you mean
stop
by that?
talking about my cars?
Hey, let's talk about
This is getting really weird. We're breaking through the fourth wall. We can't do
Vader
know,
this.
we should do-
absolutely cooked you.
You know what we should do? We should talk about his license plate. What do you think his license plate looks like? Anyway,
No, let's not do that. You might get it right.
Marshall, that's
no,
no
it's
key
crazy. What were you
insult. How Vader
you had
said that was kind of like insulting.
That's what I told
What?
you. He got cooked. Vader cooked him,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. Like
He
you
seemed
said that, like
like
you
that type
look
of
like
guy.
this kind of car guy. I feel like that was an insult.
No,
I look like a man that likes reliability.
Yeah, it wasn't an insult.
I've been
Crazy.
told.
It is
I
a
like
very
reliability.
reliable
I
car.
myself am a very reliable person.
I've been told that.
That's why I showed up on time and all of you guys were late.
yeah, you were late. You
Whoa,
were
maybe a reliable
I-
person, but you throw people under the
How
bus.
dare you? No, he was late today. He's being an
Wow.
absolute fraud. He's being an absolute fraud. No, Will, what did you say before these guys started waffling? What was your question?
We were waffling.
Oh no, so I asked like who's gonna be in your
I had to say
backline with Gabrielle not being there.
Oh, dude, it'll be. I don't even want to think about it, to be honest with you. Obviously,
Wait, is Ben White.
Obviously, Rhea in goal, dude. I don't want to see Ben White anywhere near this game. He's been awful.
So
Really? But even as a center back.
No, I don't want him as a center back.
Oh.
I'd rather have Kirior there. So backline Miles Lewis, Skelly, Saliba, or Kirior, Saliba, Timber.
Arteta killing another center back career.
Yeah, shocker. And is anybody shocked? No. And he's gonna kill.
No.
He's gonna kill the CDMs too. Watch us get countered, and then one of our CDMs, either Partey or Rice, snaps their ankle, snaps a hamstring. Watch it.
Yeah, I mean,
We're
that's
gonna play.
insane.
We play so far up the pitch. It worries me, and that's how we're gonna
I have to
get.
say,
We're gonna
This
get
is too
countered.
negative
and-
for me, man. This is too
What?
negative for me, bro.
Why is it
It's way
too negative? I'm just breaking.
Oh, here we
Sorry,
go,
I'm
bro.
talking ball.
You can't even say that with a straight face. You can't even say that.
You
with a
can't even.
straight
That's what I'm saying. You can't even say
Yeah,
it with a
you
straight
can't
face,
even
bro.
say
You
it with
really
a straight
can't.
face. Look at him.
It
He can't
is-
even
it is
complete the
very
sentence.
Guy,
He's laughing
this guy's
already.
such a loser. Big up Arma. Big up Omar, by the way.
Oh my god.
He's a fraud, bro.
By the
Hold
way,
that, Omar, hold that.
I think the two people deserving the most of jail sentences right now are definitely Das and Ahmed. So guys, get to work if you guys want.
Fuck out of
Bro.
here, bro.
I mean, you don't have to. If you are asking me for suggestions, that would be it.
The thing is,
Those
man.
would be the
Luckily
two.
today, the chat's looking a bit broke, so we're in safe hands. We're in safe hands.
Chat's looking
Pissed
broke.
off
guys.
till they come
Whoa.
out
Likes
in
are
the
looking
third
broke.
straight fucking
Luckily,
season.
You got Liverpool fans.
You know what I mean?
Is that what you're
We're in
saying?
safe hands. We're in safe hands, man.
United and
He
Liverpool fans.
Posted
in the
that the
chat.
stats full with a bunch of Liverpool fans.
Nick, you didn't hear him backstage. He was absolutely ridiculous. It was crime. It was criminal what was going on back
Cry
there.
Cry
Absolutely
more about your
ridiculous.
shitty taste in music.
Uh,
Put me in jail.
No, I'm not.
man.
Wow. Oh my God. I thought it hyped. Nick, go back and watch the intro. I think you'd like it too. He's a DJ. This guy's
Yeah.
Oh,
See,
okay.
so basically, you're saying it's the Powerland DJ music. So is that what you're trying to say?
Poundland.
yeah.
Yeah, Powerland.
Like the
is
version of
£1.
Walmart, I think.
Yes.
Hold that, Omar.
Okay, well, this is
Yeah, I have
America,
no idea.
and we don't have those stupid.
Okay, how about dollar store? How about dollar store then? How about a dollar store DJ? How does that sound? Hey, does that change it? No.
There we go.
Dollar store
No, it
DJ.
doesn't.
Again, I have no
Thank you.
idea what's going
Yo,
on.
Yo,
on
you
deaf
know
ears
what's so
on, man.
crazy?
You just
Like,
made
just
Vader
actually-
leave. You just made Vader take his headphones off. He's done with you.
Yeah, he's
Exactly.
I can't hear anymore.
Jokes.
Listen, man, let them leave.
You know what's so crazy? There's actually people who wake up and live in the UK. Like fuck.
That's sad. Yeah, man.
Listen, there's
It's
people
actually
that
a rough
live.
life, dog.
There's people that live in New Jersey. You know what I mean? Smells like shit. What's up from right here? You know what I mean?
How's that?
Hackney?
How's
You know what?
bro.
If that's
The
what you want to
average-
believe,
Cheese and beans on
stay
toast
away.
feeding you today.
How's Hackney?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say I
You know what I
got
mean?
more food within a mile radius than in all of the UK, bro. Let's be real, man. I got more
All of
food
your
serious?
in a mile radius.
Comes
I just
from
need to
different
go
countries.
downstairs. I've
All
got
of
food
your best food
downstairs.
comes
Literally.
from different countries.
Bro, your national dish is literally like a dish from a different country. It's not even anything.
Shout out to them.
He got
Shout out
His
to them.
national
I'm
dish is
happy.
literally
His
Last
national
time-
dish is
Last time I
national dish
checked.
is Kentucky Fried Chicken. His national
Last time I
last time I-
checked. Last time I checked. Yo, what's your dish? McDonald's? What? Big Mac? Yeah.
Hold on.
My dish is
Hold on.
American.
Ahmed.
One at a time. One
Big
at a
Mac
time.
pie.
get the likes up, please, people, for all this
You
waffle.
guys call like
Banana with rice.
you guys call that chicken burgers. I will never forget that. Chicken burgers,
Big
it's a fucking sandwich.
It's a chicken burger. I get it right, mate. It's a chicken
Bro,
burger.
how are you gonna call
I
it
get
a
it right.
chicken burger? That's weird. That's
It's
weird.
It's a chicken burger.
Brother,
Because it was special.
Bro,
You know what I mean?
backwards
Respect
accent.
yourself. Man,
This-
go.
Wait,
You know what it is? You know what it is, Cheek? No, this is
Yo,
why. No,
flipping-
Cheek. Somebody needs to go over there and tell them
Where
World
does
War
she-
II. ended. They
Someone
can
needs to
stop
go
eating
over to your
war
country
rats.
and
This
stop
is
eating
what happens
French
when
fries.
Tottenham is the only team to
Ahmed,
pick
if
up an
you
L
ever
this
came,
weekend.
Ahmed, if you ever came over here, went to a restaurant and said,
Or a
"I want
win.
chicken burgers," bro, they'll laugh at you and be
What
like, "What the
country?
fuck are you talking
Yeah,
about?"
bro, listen,
Like, what country?
ask
are
for
you
some
in,
French
bro?
fries and see what we say to you over here. You know what I mean? It's fucking
You know
chicken.
what we should do?
Get it right.
Only thing,
They're
They're
the
not
only
chips.
thing-
They're not
The
chips.
only
right.
thing
Get
that you are
it
known
flipping
for
right.
is tea, and you're not.
Shut
Let's
up real
go.
quick.
Let's go. Let's go.
Oh,
Slammer.
thank
Slammer.
God.
Oh, thank you.
Ahmed.
Why is that? Oi, bruv, how'd you know I was British? Stupid ass accent. Get up out of here. Fucking. Yeah, look, no country that has a king and queen.
Yeah, no VAR for you. You're fucked.
Come on, bruv.
No, yeah.
10 minutes.
No, we're in the cup. There's no VR over here. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, man. The
Oh
amount
my
of
God.
glazes
I'm
is
so fucking
crazy.
tired
King
of
No,
it.
you-
I
RSM
always see that fucking Spud Bro shit on my Instagram all the fucking time, making jacket potatoes and that. Like, fuck
Your
all that.
Highness.
I can't stand that,
Yo,
bro.
tuna.
No, I saw that,
and-
bro.
It's not even a
this-
spud. It's called a fucking potato. It's called a baked fucking
is.
potato with shit on it.
Shout out to
You just
that.
pile as
You got
much shit
Staffy.
as you can.
Bro,
And then-
why
and
is
then-
okay?
and
No,
then you
real
say
talk
you
though.
fucking
Why?
Hey, you know what we should
why
do?
is
We
every-
should make a
on it.
tier list. We should
No,
make
but
a
he's not
tiered
wrong,
list.
bro. Why is everything so
American
slop?
food.
Everything is slop, bro. They're like, here's a food, we're gonna throw slop on it. It looks like a lunch lady meal, bro. They're always throwing slop on it. Like, here's my Chinese food, slop. Why? Why is it all wet and like, why?
My mom,
bro, like,
so my mom
Why?
went to the UK maybe like a year ago. After she said that she lost like 10 pounds. She was there for like 2 weeks, bro. She barely ate.
There's no eats, bro. There's no eats.
Yeah. She was like that. Like the flavor, everything was just.
They
off.
put a piece of tomato on a slice of toast and they call it a gourmet fucking breakfast.
But again, they have the king and queen. Like so, like if Ahmed sees a certain person, he has to literally bow down. It's crazy.
He has to kneel. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Bowing down is crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
Your Highness, my king.
Saya.
Would you like some?
Say how it is,
with
man. He
your
has to get on
eel?
his knees. Say it how it is, man. He has to get on his knees. Say it how it is, man.
Again, hey yo. Again, a yo. All right, no. So let's hear what the rest of the panelists is here. Is predictions for the Arsenal Real Madrid match. Let's go with Marshall first.
How about a better question? Who here thinks Arsenal are gonna win
Tomorrow
Nobody,
or
bro.
like in
Tomorrow,
tomorrow?
we have a chance to win tomorrow, but I don't think we will.
I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the predictions. Arsenal
Like,
are not
TJ,
gonna
on a scale of
win.
like 1 to 10, how confident are you though? Like in terms of like getting like a result in terms of moving on.
Getting a result tomorrow, meaning getting out of there with a draw.
No, I'm talking about just in terms of advancing. Period. Like how? Like,
I'm at a 3.
3 shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm at a 3. Dude, who's scoring the goals? And a lot of people are saying, oh yeah, Bukayo Saka's gonna come back and he's gonna do. Dude, the guy got clottered in the Everton game and started limping after that, dude, bro. He did. He got absolutely ran through towards the end of that match.
Hey,
and he was literally limping towards the end. And this is exactly what us negative fans warned about. And if people are going to depend on Mikel Moreno and Martinelli to turn up and just be world beaters all of a sudden and beat that world-class backline, well, they're not all world-class, but you have some world-class people in your backline and in your defense.
Shout out Rudiger, man. Shout out Rudiger.
Dude, and Rudiger has played against us before. Like, Rudiger knows how to play against Arsenal. Like, it's not like that guy hasn't played in the Premier League before. So I'm not confident just because of our front line. If we had a striker that could do anything, if Odegaard would show up to any match ever, I would say we would maybe have some confidence. But this guy's been a ghost. He's been doing his best Cole Palmer impression all season. What?
How long has he been ghosting out now? Like, how bad has his form been?
All season, dude. I honestly can't remember a game. I can't remember a game that he had that where he was good. I don't remember.
When was the last time the guy got an assist?
No. Here's the thing. The last game that he was good, he scored 2 goals and got 1 assist against PSV after we were already up 3-0.
Yikes.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's been bad the entire season, and I don't hang it up on one game.
I'll be honest. I think Gabriel was the last chance you guys had. Well, Saka, and then Gabriel got hurt. I think that was your last opportunity to really get anything out of this. I mean, listen, it is Champions League. Anything could happen. You know these players do step up for the occasion, but without Gabriel, I don't think Saliba's going to be enough to. Because listen, Will can tell you, even though he doesn't believe in the form, Vinny, Mbappe, Rodrigo, they're relentless. And I just don't think Arsenal can sustain that much pressure for 90 minutes to even come out of that with a draw. They're going to repeatedly just come after you over and over and over and over again until you break. And I don't see you guys winning, especially without Gabriel.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be a nice little Saliba audition. You know what I'm saying? Get to see what he does again.
You know what? Get this guy out of here.
I was actually just gonna say that too. I'm
just saying, like, I definitely do want to see how he handles the pressure, especially without Gabriel being next to him. I think it's gonna be pretty interesting.
Omar,
it'll be like it. Oh, go ahead,
dude. It's Real Madrid in the Champions League and Arsenal in the Champions League. What are we talking about, man? Arsenal in the Champions League versus Real Madrid in the Champions League. Let's be so real. I'm telling you right now, it doesn't matter. Currently, right now, in the basement, in the Bernabeu, this shit is going on, bro. They're going to get a win, bro. I'm telling you right now. This is what they're doing in the basement of the Bernabeu, bro. This is what they're doing. Come on, man. Listen, I'm leaking the secret. I'm leaking the secrets. Now, real talk though, like I think, bro, like realistically, it's gonna be a 2-1, bro. Yeah. It's gonna be a 2-1 Madrid. Like at worst, it's a 2-2. I don't see where Arsenal are going to generate enough quality chances because at this moment in time, Arsenal they need a volume of chances to score goals. It's not like they're scoring off 1 or 2 good chances. Like they need a volume of chances. I don't think Madrid's gonna cough up enough volume of chances for them to score. I think Arsenal are though. I'm gonna be real with you. I think that their backline is, especially on the wings, is where I think it's most suspect at the moment. That's where your strongest players are, in my opinion. So I think you guys are going to struggle.
Well, the only hope
something from how you guys could get something from this game. Like, here's the blueprint, right? Play like how you did against Man City. Like, was it earlier this season? Remember, like when you guys
when we beat them 5-1, or are you talking about the away?
No.
Because we were 10 men. We were in
doing
45 minutes of that game.
If you play like that, then you'll have chances. So I think if you attack us and then if you let us be the ones to hit you on the counter, it'll be a bad day for you. But if you let us have the ball and then if you try to hit us on the counter, because we are bad in transition, like this is how teams are able to score. Like teams create a lot of chances by us either like losing the ball in midfield, miss-hit pass, whatever it is. So I think Atleti gave teams the blueprint, right? Like that's how you play against us. Like you let us have the ball, you try to hit us on the counter. But I think that because it's at the Emirates, and because it's such a big occasion, I think Arsenal will be the team on the front foot. And I think we'll hit you on the counter. And I think that's how we'll hurt you because the pace is crazy. So, like, that's kind of more so like how I see it going. In terms of
and that's what really annoys me about this. And people might disagree with me, but that's what really annoys me about Mikel Arteta is that he refuses to let the other team have the ball. Like, he is not comfortable with the other team having the ball, period. So we're too structured, we're too pragmatic. 75% of the ball against Everton in the second half, nothing came from it. Nothing.
And you missed chances.
Yeah. I mean, it's not inspiring a lot of confidence. Like, I really think like Odegaard and Martinelli and Saka needs to, I don't know, grow a bionic leg and come out without an injury for us to win, to be honest. Like, Odegaard needs to play a worldie for us to have a chance.
What's your combined 11?
Combined 11?
Who gets in? So here's
the infamous Arsenal Real Madrid combined 11.
Saliba gets in. Saliba gets in.
Okay. Timber gets in. Lewis Kelly gets in.
Does Lewis Kelly get in?
Based off who's available, yeah.
Okay.
Current team.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
Like, technically, you could play Camavinga as left back. You could, because you have.
Yeah, but Camavinga's been awful this season. Like awful.
I hear that.
But
is it true that he wants to leave?
Let's be real. That's it.
Is it true that he wants to leave in the summer?
Who? I mean, I have no idea, bro. 70 million. Thought.
BX Gunner, I don't think Ethan plays. I don't think Ethan gets anywhere near this game, to be honest with you. I don't think he's going to trust
I feel
him.
like Ethan should start. I feel like
I agree with you. I agree with you, but I don't think Arteta's going to trust him. I think he's going to rush Saka back in, and we're going to see a at least 60 minutes back. He's played 2 45-minute matches, man. And look, he did get the goal against Fulham. Not everybody can beat Fulham, right, Doss? But it's one of those things where you have to be logical, and that's not something that Arteta does.
But isn't 45 minutes kind of like, okay, easing him into getting back into fitness?
Yeah, 45 minutes against Everton, though, when you have Real Madrid on the horizon, when you don't need to play them, and the Premier League, honestly, is a lost cause at this point. All we're trying to do is beat Forest. Like, really? Right. I just didn't see the logic in it, to be honest with you. I really didn't, especially with the way that game was going.
Well, TJ, if you want a new manager, Carlo should be available in a few months.
Dude, if you ask half of my fan base, they're gonna be like, "Get Don Carlo in now."
Yes, take him.
Ahmed is free. Ahmed is free.
No, unfortunately.
No, yeah, I know. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
It's funny.
Oh, here we go.
Funny. I want to say one thing quickly.
Yeah, what's funny?
You were all cooking about English food, everything like that. But at the end of the day, you all support English teams.
We were literally getting off of this.
Bar and Will. So listen, I think it's time for you to respect my culture, mate. You know
the only good thing to come out that country, bro. The only good thing to come out that country.
At least we support one team in England. You support 2 different basketball teams.
Listen, that's the US sport. That's a US sport. That's not an English sport.
You support the Nuggets and the Celtics.
You know what I mean? I support one team.
No, I support my local. As soon as the Nuggets are eliminated,
I can respect TJ. I can respect TJ because
Celtics and Chelsea fan is
local ladies team. You know what I mean? None of you guys support your local teams, innit? So that's what I have to say. Nothing to you, Vito.
Sorry, no, I hear that, but I know we don't have History Jacob on here, but just so you know, it's a North American sport, not just an American sport, and it was actually Canadian.
My apologies. Sorry, my apologies.
Vader. You're like a glorified state. Come on now.
No.
Like, we don't consider Canada.
If Jacob was here, he'd tell you about your history. 1812.
See, this is why we don't let Ahmed speak when he says, something funny. He always does. He turns us against each other every time, bro.
That was a draw, by the way. That was a draw. That was 1812 was yeah, we signed a peace treaty. We didn't lose that one.
Yeah, you signed a peace treaty because you didn't want that whooping to continue.
Hold on, Vader.
I know this man at home when we got independence from him.
America
we slapped him up.
Take over Canada.
I'm Somali, mate. I'm not English too.
In like 8 hours. Like,
dude, we couldn't take over. We couldn't take over Mogadishu, and we're gonna go and take over Canada.
Yeah, you couldn't take over Mogadishu. Respect Mogadishu, man.
Of course, we can take over Canada.
You know what I mean? You couldn't take over my whole Africa.
History lesson.
I always win. But anyway,
no, you don't always. You don't always win. We
Listen, man. All this talk about history, this and that ain't gonna change.
Yeah.
But you know what, man? Just quickly, I'm gonna go back to the Arsenal game quickly. I'm just gonna give my prediction. I feel like we've been a bit too negative in this one, so I'm gonna I'm gonna go a cheeky 1-0 Arsenal.
Cheeky.
Skolix, this is a really funny chat. Dude.
Yeah,
this is really funny.
I'm gonna go. Yeah. I'm gonna go cheeky 1-0 Arsenal.
Why? What is your logic?
Because I feel like the panel's been too negative, so I have to be the positive.
I didn't get a chance to speak.
So it's nothing about.
Yeah. I want to know. We haven't heard from RSM, Vader, or Sheik.
We don't really need to hear from RSM because anything that you guys have said, RSM's probably agrees with.
And we've been been on this for 30 minutes, so let's give these guys a couple of minutes to cook, and then we're gonna go. RSM, you can go, and then Vader.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it just comes down to I think both teams are poor. It just comes down to who has more game winners, and let's be honest, like. I don't see people in Arsenal's team that can call game like that. I'm agree with you, bro. They don't got people that can call game like that. You got you got Vinny, you got Mbappe, you got Bellingham. You feel me? I feel like you have enough people in that team. Even Rudiger, bro. Like last minute corner Rudiger header. I've seen that happen so many times this season. Like I think they have too many game winners, and I think somebody saying like, oh, it's Champions League, it's at home, Arsenal, but bro. Anytime Arsenal, it's a big game or whatever. Here we go, bro.
Oh no!
Oh, here we go.
There you go, man. The lights were brighter. That's what I'm saying. Like that's what happens. Let's be real, man. When they're under pressure, they fold. So I have no reason to believe it's gonna be any different. Like I said, at worst, bro, it's a draw. It's a 2-2, and then Madrid sweep it up at home. But I think it's gonna be like 2-1 Madrid or something.
You know what? I was really disappointed with the start of the show because I didn't like how Will, who's talked trash about Arteta, he's talked trash about Arsenal all season long, and now he's matched up against him, and he's like, you know what, I'm gonna go to your house, and maybe it'll be a draw. Like I didn't like that energy. It wasn't consistent. And then I'm accustomed to TJ being like, oh, we're bums, we're terrible, we're gonna lose. Arteta sucks. I'm looking for next season. So I was accustomed to that. But Will, nah, man, it should have been different, and it should be because you're missing Gabriel, an important part of the defense. You've got no striker at Arsenal. Like I think Will was all over the place. I think he said he could see Gabriel with the brace. Like what? No, the corner set piece goals, those aren't happening anymore. You should be going into this game comfortable. You play your style of football because Ancelotti, as much as you want to disrespect him and say he needs out, he does adjust based off of whoever he's facing, and he's not going to make life easy for Arteta. He's not going to make life easy for Arsenal. So if it's going to be, I'm going to hit you on the counter and exploit you because I got speed on the wings, he'll do that. If he's going to be like, I'm going to hit you on the counter because I got speed in the midfield, I'm going to do that. So I think everything points to a Real Madrid win. Maybe it's not comfortable, but it's a win. And I don't know how you look at anything other than that. You got 15 UCLs, if I'm correct. I'm sorry, TJ, but you got none. And Will's out here. Will's out here moving like he's got problems facing a club that's got no UCLs. Crazy.
Bro, in the season for me, Sheik rounded out, and then we're gonna talk about the deadest derby I've ever watched in my life.
Oh, Tell me about it. But yeah, I completely agree. RSM and Vader said it to a peach. It's all about difference makers in competitions like this. You're going up against a team that does it best, knows how to win in all these type of situations. We've seen oftentimes they're not the better team against who they're facing, but they always find a way to win. And Arsenal just currently with the team that they're probably going to field out there don't have those difference makers. Like Gabriel is a big miss defensively and even like set pieces and stuff like that too, because he has a lot of goals for you guys this season. And I just look at your attack and bar Saka, I don't get moved by anybody else. So it's really just that. And yeah, if maybe if you had different players and better attack, you could have said, yeah, maybe Arsenal can get something away from this Emirates game. But I think it's going to be a 2-1 Real Madrid, to be honest.
Yeah. No, I hear you. 100%. All right. For the love of God, let's move on. You guys will see us on all these match reactions and everything. It'll be everything that anybody ever talks about tomorrow. So my prediction tomorrow, 1-1 Arsenal, but we'll lose 2-0 at the Bernabeu.
That's respectable.
Yeah, it sucks.
That's respectable.
It sucks. All right. But anyway, all right, let's move on. Doss, I'll keep you up. Do you want to cook about Liverpool real quick before we get into the worst? Because look, here, no. Let's
talk about Liverpool last. They lost.
Yeah, they won the league already. Too.
Oh, okay. Oh, they won the league already. Okay, that's fine. Then let's talk about.
Yeah, man, down the honeymoon, man.
Yeah, no one's
let's talk about somebody that is going to win the league.
Liverpool doesn't even need a segment. 20 points ahead of Chelsea. 20
they're boring.
Points ahead of the rest of you guys. We've got this league wrapped up. Who cares? You drew anyway.
No. I'm not hearing this because you literally.
The derby's important right now.
This guy was blowing up the WhatsApp, complaining about how people aren't worried about performances and all this bullshit after he's already freaking 9 points clear, and we got.
That's the old me. That's the old me. That's the old.
Shut up. You're such a fraud, bro. You are such a fraud.
It's the old me, dog. It's the old me. Today's a new day, right? Got to look at the positives. We win
it's
the league.
It's a new day. Yes, it is.
All good. Yeah. Performances don't matter. Results.
The end of the day, hate avocado toast, Dawes. This is the worst.
That's it.
Yeah.
2 points dropped. Who cares?
Dude, what a fraud.
We like beans and toast, Dawes, instead. So.
Yeah, I prefer East Coast Dawes.
But no. Serious question. Serious question, though, Dawes. Serious question. And then we don't have to talk about Liverpool because apparently it's a dead topic. Are you pissed off about how you performed against Fulham? Is this indicative of something bad on the horizon?
Couldn't be, man. Couldn't be.
You're such
too emotional.
Dude. This guy.
Listen. We got a very
Liverpool fans are the biggest frauds on the world man. I swear to God.
We got a super emotional fan base, right? Everything's on the thread.
Which you're a part of.
People are nuking group chats. It's all good, bro. We're not allowed to talk about how the team performs. It's only about results. Arsenal drew before us. We didn't drop the ball. It's all good. It's only 1 point gained. It is what it is. We're going to win the league. I got to be happy. Mo Salah and Virgil still don't have contract signs. But you know what? Guys? FSG got us here. So it's all good. I got to be positive.
It does. You know what? It does.
I got to be in a positive. Got to be in a positive frame of mind. I'm not allowed to talk about how players perform when we're 12 points ahead. Because when you're 12 points ahead, performances don't matter, right? I'm not allowed to say anything negative about Arne Slot. I'm not allowed to say anything negative about Arne Slot because you know what? We're 12 points ahead in his first season. So, listen, no matter what he does, as long as he's 12 points ahead, we're cooking. It's all good. League's over.
Wow.
Mike, and with that, Will disappears. Okay. Enjoy your DS. Sheik.
Here we go.
Talk to me, bro. 0-0, one of the deadest Manchester derbies I think I've ever watched.
Yeah.
Tell me how you feel about Amorim.
Mixed, to be honest, in terms of Amorim, but you've heard me talk about Amorim since he's joined and all of that. Yes, I do criticize him in terms of certain decisions like lineups and whether we should be playing well against certain teams and players that he's selecting. Although my whole judgment on him is going to be more on next season because this is not the ideal situation for I don't think any manager to step into. Should it be better than what it is right now? Yes, but then what is better than what is right now? Is it 10th, 9th, or 11th or 12th. I think that's the biggest question, right? In terms of this game, though, completely like is a dead derby. I don't understand why Gary Neville's going after the game talking about, oh, this was like, I hate the way how Manchester United were at the end of the game and stuff like that. What are you talking about? Like, you can tell that this is a 13th place Manchester United. He was saying things like, oh, if this was a team from the past, they wouldn't have reacted this way. Correct, because this team would have in the past wouldn't be 13th. And by the time in that game, this team in the past is probably winning this game already. So they wouldn't have played the way that they played at the end of this one. And I don't know, there's a whole lot of waffle from this guy. But yeah, in terms of like the game itself, I think is disappointing because we should have left with a win. I think we had done well enough to score at least one goal in that game. And I think one goal was enough in order for us to win it. I don't need to continue to talk about that guy, Alejandro Garnacho, again and again. I found out today.
This guy is so bad, dude.
I found out today, I don't know if you guys know this, but he has a shot conversion rate of 5.9% this season.
Who?
Alejandro Garnacho. Martinelli has more than him, by the way. And he's played so many games this season. And again, it's like, what more do I have to say about him? You know, like we always talk about certain games where I'm like, okay, maybe Garnacho can have better decision making in the next one. Maybe he can try something different in the next one. But there's nothing different that he tries. The guy literally had a chance in front of goal. He was in the 6-yard box. What better chance do you need? All you have to do is just try to direct your body towards any part of the ball to get it towards goal. And that's all you needed to do. But the guy slipped, went out for, I think maybe they just ended up clearing it or whatever. And yeah, it's just, this is what you expect. Like, this is what you get when you have an attack like this. So when Gary Neville's talking about, oh, like, why isn't Manchester United a certain way? It's because of these attackers. And this is a team that we have to fill out. And in 2025, this is what our squad is. So I'm done with the league. Literally end the league right now. It literally makes it doesn't matter to me at all. There's nothing that we are fighting for in terms of the league. This derby, yes, you want to call it a derby for bragging rights, this and that. This game was more important for them than it was for us. They're in a top 4 race. It's more important for them to win or to get a result, and they didn't. And for us, it doesn't mean anything. All sights are on Europe. All sights are on the Europa League. I don't personally have us winning that anyways. But I want to see what this manager does and how we perform and whether we do, show up any sort of like fighting battle or we just get, turned over by these teams and go on to next season. Because that's really it. The impatience is like, my patience is running thin. I'm tired of seeing Højlund and Garnacho start week in, week out. I need other players into the team. I need more better performances from this manager too, because there will be a point next season where you will have to field some of these players because injuries are part of the season, unless you're Mikel Arteta and you don't realize that. But yeah, like injuries are part of a season and this happens to everyone. And there will be a time where Ruben Amorim is going to have to field out at least 70% of this squad right now. And what is he going to do then? And we're not going to hear these excuses like, oh, he needs better players in his next season after spending all the money that we do next summer. So big improvements needed. But in terms of this game, dead derby, like definitely one of the worst derbies that we've seen in a while for sure. Should have won. But all eyes and a mind and everything set on Lyon this week in Europe. So that's what I would say.
Yeah, Vader, your thoughts.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, I always enjoy hearing from United fans, and I don't get to hear from Sheik too often, so I like to hear his balance. But I always chuckle when I hear a United fan talk about my patience is running thin. Like that always kind of tickles me a little bit because they don't show patience. United fans don't show patience. So when he says my patience is running thin, I mean, Emira's been here for how long? What? Like
no, I said my patience running thin with like the squad, not with Amorim. I'm so Amorim in. I don't want him out.
Well,
like,
yeah, but
want him there next season.
I mean, maybe when you say that with the squad, you made several changes. You got some deadwood out. You got some new additions, and
and somehow we're having a worse season than last year after making those changes. So.
Yeah. But you know what? When we talk about this game, and it was a dead derby. But it was a dead derby because neither club are playing for much. Yeah, I'm playing for a top 4, but I still got like 8 games to account for. I still have an FA Cup that's on the horizon as well. Like, I get it. United had absolutely nothing to play for. Like, them trying to get a win versus City, it's kind of like roles in reverse. It's bragging rights. Back in the day when I was trying to get a win over United, it was just for bragging rights, not because it would really do anything. They're in that position now, and I get it. They weren't going to play for that. They were going to. I mean, they haven't really been playing for the manager. I hear it from Sheik and other United fans. They're not playing for this guy. So why would they play for this guy that meant nothing in a game that meant nothing? They had their eyes set on Europa, and I get it. For us, I think if Pep was looking at a team that was a lot more consistent, or had some of the more accustomed bodies on the bench with regards to, you know, the options, I think he would have taken it a lot more aggressively. But he went into this game where he's like, I already don't have my top striker. I can't risk losing Marmoush, because then my hopes of top 4, top 5 are pretty much dead in the water. So there was a lot of cautious play that I witnessed here. He also relied on the experience, because I hear my Manchester City fan base cry and lose their minds because they saw Kova, Gundo, KDB, and Bernardo Silva in that midfield, and they're like, "What the heck are you doing?" But I think Pep was looking for, you know, players that I can trust going into this, and maybe I can make some changes. But it was a dead game. I'm not going to try to gas it up. I'm not going to try to change it. We got the draw.
Wow.
Why, what?
No, I'm impressed you're not going to try to gaslight us.
No. When I said gas it, I didn't mean gaslight you. I said I'm not trying to gas the game. I don't gaslight you, you fraud. Now, the whole thing with regards to this game,
takes one gaslighter to know another, as they say, man.
That is very true. That is very true. And I can see.
I prefer not to speak.
Yeah, casually FC.
I speak, I'm in big trouble.
Yeah, plead the fifth.
Dude,
look at that, man.
Absolutely wild.
We're using again. Managers.
If I say what I needed to say, you'd be sent to the cell again.
Listen, if you want to say what you want to say it, man. Don't hide.
We don't need to.
Run.
No, I'm giving Vader the floor. I don't want to interrupt him like you've been interrupting.
I had a legit question for Vader. I mean, I watched that game and I saw that midfield and I just saw age. I just saw people that are on their way out. Are you feeling confident that is going to happen, or are we going to try to hang on for one more season? I mean, I think it's time to rebuild, right?
Well, I need to address this, and I was actually very disappointed that not each and every one of you said, you know, hey, we're going to lose a great one in KDB.
We are going to lose a great one in KDB. KDB is a generational midfielder. I remember you trying to sell me that he was better than Henry, though, so get the fuck out of here.
Wait. Yeah, KDB's good. Well done for him at Manchester City.
He tried to do that.
Totally different position.
Yeah,
KDB's good.
Totally different position, but is he the greatest in the Premier League the Premier League's ever seen? No, he hasn't.
No,
has he won more? Did he win more than Henry? Yes. But I remember what was it? It was a little over a year ago. We were having this conversation about KDB being the GOAT of the Premier League. And
no, but hold on, TJ. Let's calm down a little bit. As Mike.
No, absolutely not. I would never do that.
As Mike would say, let's be rational and balanced about this. Who spent
Mike
more
saying
time
that
in the
is
Prem?
ridiculous.
Who spent more time in the Prem?
TJ.
What?
Who spent more time in the
Prem?
Who? KDB and Henry.
KDB.
Okay, so when we look at what KDB's done, when we look at what he's been able to do, first player ever to have been 4 years leading the league, top assist. No one's ever done that. And he hasn't done it with the kind of 10. He's done it with 18, 19, like 20 assists. He's done a madness, and he's been the first player to do that. So when you have a series like that, and then you also look at his impact, because he has been impactful, he has been important with regards to winning titles, and now he's been a part of a trouble-winning team. KDB in the Prem. I'm not going to count UCL, because Henry, UCLs, they don't go over at Arsenal. But with regards to the Prem, we look at what he delivered. So it was a fair shout. I'm there for the debate. It's not a fraudulent one, because when you want to look at the longevity,
I think it is.
Okay. All right.
Just in terms of pure impact, electrification, putting the team on your back.
The league itself at that time too. Like Arsenal were going up against Fergie's Manchester United, who were very, very dominant at that time, and Arsenal kind of knocked us off that run of, I guess.
That doesn't matter. Why are you trying to dress it up?
But I'm just saying, like,
Manchester City were Man City were winning the league with 100 points, 90 something points with a team 1 point behind them. Like, we're talking about far more points than Manchester United was scoring when they were winning the league in equal amounts of games.
Yeah, but at that same amount of time, though, we've consistently talked about how the league has been shit the past couple of years, and the quality of the league has been shit.
No, but I totally disagree.
That's what I'm
trying
to say. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, people who say that the league is shit are people who are too emotional. You're confusing bad teams getting better for good teams getting worse.
So right? Das, is it fair to say if you have a bad opinion?
Let me land the point. Hold on.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
You can say that the league is shit, but on the other side of that coin, the more logical argument that makes more sense given results that we have seen over the last 3 or 4 years is that teams that used to be shit that would get run over are no longer as shit. And because they're no longer as shit, that makes the entire league more difficult. Because it's more difficult, you then are so used to your team slamming Fulham, slamming Bournemouth, slamming Brighton, that now all of a sudden the narrative has changed and you're just not used to it yet. So 10 years from now, we'll go through a different cycle and you'll be stuck in the mindset of this current Premier League. And then you'll be saying, this league is either really good or it's really shit, because your perspective is predicated on a prior pattern that existed for so long, right? And I'm sure that before the early 2000s, there were a bunch of old heads who said, this league is shit. This league is shit. This league is shit, because the same pattern happened. It happens in every single sport. That's not to say that clubs have not taken a step back. I mean, Manchester City literally have taken a step back, but many other clubs have taken giant leaps forward. Yeah. Nottingham Forest has taken a leap forward. Brighton has taken a leap forward. Even a team like Fulham, right? Like teams like, I mean, and you also have to look like, okay, maybe their place in the table hasn't changed because of consistency, and consistency is what makes you a champion. But those teams can pull a result against teams that previously they could never do that before. You can say it's shit. I just say that the bottom of the barrel has been raised and other teams are just crumbling under the pressure.
Great point, Mike.
Yeah, so I just wanna obviously talk about KDB. Big up to him. I think he's probably been one of the best midfielders actually in the league in terms of like creative wise and everything like that. But I just want it to be recognized. I just did a little bit of a stat snooping, as I like to call it. A little bit of headhunting, and he's got 17 goals and 120 assists, which is I'll be honest, man, kind of crazy, man. I thought you'd probably have a little bit more personally, but surprised.
More what?
You know what I mean?
You thought you have more what?
I thought you had a bit more. I'll be honest. I thought people
a bit more what? No, which one? More assists or more goals? I'm not sure what you're saying.
I'll be honest. Like just in general, I thought you'd probably be like in 100 for both. That's just me. I don't know about you. Like 100 goals, maybe 100 assists. But I'm kind of surprised.
Does he not have 100 assists?
I'm talking about in the Premier League. In the Premier League.
Do you know how few players have 100 assists in the Premier League?
No. He's gone. I'm surprised he's not 100 in both. That's what I was saying. He's got 100 assists.
Oh my. Okay. Who's ahead of him in the assists? Who's ahead? of him?
No. Not that many are ahead of him. Probably.
No, who are?
I would probably
by longevity.
No. Look it up.
You can look it up.
Do your look.
No. I'm
just looking at the internet. I'll look it up in a bit, but like, listen, we're kind of like misconstruing where I'm going. There's another guy. Shout out to Frank. You know what I mean? My legend, Lampard. You know what I mean?
It's literally only Ryan Giggs. It's only Ryan Giggs.
Ahmed didn't want to say that. He didn't want to say that. That's
only Ryan Giggs.
At the end of the day, listen. At the end of the day, I want to shout out. Frank. You know what I mean? My legend. 177 goals, and he's only five assists behind Kevin De Bruyne. So, I mean, listen. He's definitely up there of the best. Yeah, but he's just not Lampard. Thank you. That's my TED talk.
He's not wrong. For once.
Yeah. All I'll say is KDB, great player. Like what he's done with Manchester City is unbelievable for sure. But for us to put him into all-time 11s and best player of Premier League of all time, way too quick for all that type of shit.
Tough to compete.
One thing I always say.
That's all subjective. All that matters.
We need to relax.
All that matters is that you're willing to have a conversation about it. If he's in the conversation, then that should be good enough, because everyone is going to have a different opinion who should be in an all-time 11. But if you're in the conversation, take it, be satisfied with it. You can claim it, and no one's going to say, "Oh, you're crazy," but they'll just say, "I disagree."
He's definitely top 10 all time.
Surprise! You guys are going to rep their Chelsea guy. Surprise!
Omar, bro, it's okay, man. You're broke. We get it, but it is what it is. But you know what it is.
Damn.
You know what it is, man. Listen. I've got to make sure I respect my legends firstly, and secondly, in the words of what's it called? In one of the words I like to use at the Vision Nation, you need to let stuff marinate in it. Whenever a guy retires, I don't like to talk about his legacy straight away when he retires. I like to wait 3 or 4 years, and then I like to come back to a conversation because you yourself have forgotten about him in your playing time, and then you can kind of like have a bit more of an unbiased look at it at that time. You know what I mean? So that's just me personally.
Yeah, because there are literally like fans. It goes both ways, right? Vader?
Because like sometimes
fans right
it's
now
too
that are
hot,
disrespecting the legacy because of recency bias, right? Obviously, he hasn't been great in the last 2 seasons.
By me, I didn't bring up the legacy.
No, not you. I just mean fans in general and rival fans.
You got a little defensive and started that convo, so that's why we're here now. I didn't bring it up.
No. I was just trying to do that as a bit of banter, personally, but no, but you know me. But like on a serious note, anytime we speak about someone that retires, I hate it in general when we start doing this thing of like how great is his legacy, because I know it's always gonna happen, media stuff like that. But I always say let's give it a bit of time, let's settle down a little bit, because it's better for you to have like a bit more of a context. You're looking at him for what he is throughout his career. That's why I love to watch like these legend documentaries, right? Where you like kind of see their careers, you see what they've been doing, and you're not kind of mired in your own era at times, right? Because then you lose it too much.
I mean, I think the only negative of Kevin De Bruyne is that City were so dominant in England for so long and yet so consistently fell out of the Champions League early. And if he had gone further, if he had made it to more finals, if he had won more, Vader, if Kevin De Bruyne had a second UCL, I think that this is a completely different conversation, because that regardless of whether or not we're talking about Premier League only, everyone subconsciously loves to just put as many trophies as they can in the back of their argument, right? So if Kevin De Bruyne had gotten it over the line against Chelsea, I think maybe we have a completely different conversation. If Kevin De Bruyne had been the guy to score that goal, if Rodri didn't score it and Kevin De Bruyne scored that banger from the same exact position, I guarantee you people would immediately change their energy. But again, another fault of his is maybe perhaps his lack of being that dominating presence in any cup final, whether it was a Carabao Cup, an FA Cup, a UCL. But like the dude is in, like I would put him on the Mount Rushmore. Like I'm not saying he's the number one. I'm not saying but again, that's from my life. That's from my view of watching.
Yeah, whoever you've seen and
that's
stuff.
That's from statistics.
Are we talking Premier League, DOS?
No, I'm just talking about players who have played in the Premier League to be put on a Mount Rushmore. Not just Premier League, but players who have played in the Premier League. When we want to condense these conversations, because I think what hurts him though, DOS, is how many little fucking details do
on
we
the
have
world
to
stage?
mention?
I think hurts.
Yeah, world stage, and obviously, the Champions League one, he got injured in finals. He was injured in both your Champions League finals, so it's like
that's also not his fault. Like,
yeah, it's not his fault. Yeah, no, that's why
Belgium have been fucking chokers. Everyone on that team chokes. Everyone, even Courtois chokes when he plays for fucking Belgium. I don't want to hear it. Like you cannot rest that on his shoulders. The guy, 20 Premier League assists one season, 19 another. I think if you look at the top 5 all-time Premier League assists, per season, he has like 4 of them. Right? Yeah. You like, I'm sorry, you cannot deny that. And he did it with totally different fucking teams. And he was a part of a team that scored 100 points. He's a part of a team that won the treble. And if Rodri comes back next season, and if Rodri is not at the same level, I'm going to have to sit here and say, okay, how much of that is due to his individual performances and how much of that is due to the fact that he doesn't have Kevin De Bruyne with him anymore? Yeah. Every time he got hurt, we would sit there and say, oh, no KDB. Are we going to see something different? And the whole team played differently. So, Ahmed is right. It's going to take a couple of years. But if City take a massive step back for the next 2 seasons, there's one common factor here. It's that their primary engine has left the team.
Yep. That's fair.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Hey, fair enough. Hey, we got a couple of guys that need to jet. Big up Sheik every single time. Thank you so much for coming on as usual, my friend. Shout it out. Do you have anything coming up you want to plug before we get you out of here, man?
In terms of this week, I don't actually think I do have anything coming up. Well, next week we do a show every single Monday called the Mud Brothers Show, which TJ's been on before, I think multiple times. We'll be doing that. We'll be doing that next Monday. And I think
when did that show start? When did you start that show? How long ago?
Like probably like a year ago, I think.
It's been about a year. It's been about a year.
Yeah, we did like 53 episodes like today. By the way, Vader, I've shouted you for that show. You just never replied to my DM.
Vader running.
No, I'm now in the mud. So
you don't want to be associated with the Mud Brother, huh?
Just saying. But yeah, Mud Brothers next week. I think next week, Monday Night Raw is here locally where I stay. So I'm going to be trying to go, and I might do a vlog or something like that for Monday Night Raw. So any WWE fans in the chat, I know TJ is definitely check that stuff out. But yeah, thank you for having me on. Thank you for having me on again. TJ, and big up to all you guys. Of course, bro. And Ahmed, you're
big up, man.
Yes, Omar.
Keep hitting.
Bro, what is this Omar guy doing? Typing like he just echoed one of the 10 commandments. That is my opinion. That's why I said it. It's called an opinion. It's subjective.
Huh? You know what I mean? Commandment number 1. That is a Mike Doss opinion.
Sensitive Doss is a hilarious Doss. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, to be honest.
I wonder whose opinion that was.
Very clearly, since I'm speaking on a subjective show where we literally converse subjectively about our.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know.
Unless he had headphones in, and unless he had headphones in and wasn't seeing who was actually speaking and doesn't obviously recognize anybody else's voice, then I get that. That's my Tuss's opinion, but. Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, big up to everyone. Thank you for having me on, of course. And yeah,
big up, Chief.
Omar, I'm just busting your balls, bro. You're right. It isn't that deep.
Omar's getting mad strays here. He didn't do anything. Bro didn't do anything wrong. Oh my god.
Shout out Omar, and fuck Barcelona. It is what it is.
I gotta
way to exit on
big
that.
Up, boys.
You're gonna leave me with all these Chelsea guys in Vader. That's absolutely crazy.
It's your favorite
Blue
crew.
Brotherhood,
it's
man.
your favorite crew. You got the Starbucks merchant, you got the Eden Hazard merchant, and then you got the soundboard merchant, and then you got everyone's favorite Canadian gaslighter. And it's just a big old happy family. You got the syrup. You got the paella. You got everything. You got everything.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Wow. Go for paella, though.
He's never been delegation, man.
This show just got canceled. Big up,
Big up. Also, TJ, I'm coming for that guard of honor. Appreciate you. Keep dropping points.
Get the fuck out of here, bro. Get out of here. Bye. God, thank God he's gone. Chelsea.
We can't skip this section.
RSM, we cannot.
Can I speak about Chelsea first, if you don't mind?
Oh my god, go ahead. Go ahead. You can't help yourself. No, go ahead. You can't help yourself.
No, man. It's fine. No. It's not even anything about. It's not even something to do with the match. Firstly, I just saw something on today. I got sent something on Twitter, and I was, I remember the protest. I was at the protest, funnily, one of the protests, about saying no to the Ricketts. If you don't, I know you guys probably know who the Ricketts family is. And stuff like that. But maybe, man, it should have been saying no to the Bowley. You know what I mean? So Maga Bowley today, man. You know what I mean? Big up to him. You know what I mean? In the White House.
This guy, man.
We never been the allegations.
Are you seriously bigging up Bowley for being in the White House?
No, you're not understanding the thing I'm trying to say. I'm saying we're never being the allegations.
This sarcastic. Yeah.
Again, we're never beating the allegations, bro, man.
No, I get what he's saying. Yeah, we're not. We were never beating the allegations,
wheels
bro.
are turning slow. Yeah.
Yeah, we're never beating the allegations, man.
I'm glad.
But listen, listen, man, the game's the game on that one. But I just wanted to point that out. Dark days, man, dark days. But you know what, man? I'll let the other lads talk about the game before I speak about the game.
All right, RSM, tell me. I woke up and I actually watched that match. I watched that match over the Liverpool. So because I knew I was going to end up with 3 Chelsea frauds and Vader, who's off.
I'm always objective about Chelsea. I'm always objective about Chelsea. I
figured, as much as I hate to say it, unfortunately, for whatever reason, he's very objective. At the club as a whole, he's objective. When it comes to player agendas, that's a bit different. But
yeah. No, I figured I would watch it so I would kind of know what I was talking about here, which is why I texted you, calling Cole Palmer a fraud when he missed the last minute chance to win it. But that's fine. That's fine.
Soccer junkie, man.
That's soccer junkie. I'll play the jail. We're gonna put your super chat on layaway because this guy decided he was gonna go watch the NCAA game or some shit like that. I don't know what he's doing. But RSM, tell me what's going on with Chelsea.
Yeah, I mean with the game, it's kind of, I guess, to address the first thing, right, is a lot of people were pissed off about the initial lineup. I just think the initial lineup for me, it's one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't things. Like if you start Jackson and Palmer. Like very clearly, the medical team this season, as proven by Reece James, right, and the way Fofana was like, no, I'm going to come back early, and then got injured again, and now they basically forced him to take the surgery they wanted him to take in the summer. Reece James took that surgery in the summer when the new medical team came in. It's like all this isn't a coincidence. His medical team is very, very trying to be very, very cautious about not injuring players, and. Maresca had to decide, do I play them first half or second half, right? And Maresca is really in a damned if you don't because if we reach that second half, right, and very clearly Jackson was slated to play 45 minutes, nothing else, right? So he plays Jackson the first half, Jackson Palmer first half, takes him off second half. Everybody's going to be pissed saying, why are you taking off our best players when we're trying to chase the game, when we're trying to get a win? There is no way that he could have won that situation. Like that's what I think about that initial lineup. Where I will criticize Maresca is the fact that if you are going to be seen to not have Jackson on the pitch, then why did we go back to Nkuku as a starting 9? We already went through this experiment in January and it didn't work. Nkuku as a 9 offers less than nothing. He's a net negative. I mean, you saw it, TJ. There was times in the game he received in the box, couldn't control it, right? There was one time I think when Madueke went to press in the first half, won the ball off the center back. If Nkuku had pressed with him, he would be one-on-one with the keeper. Literally like a training drill. Just one-on-one with the keeper. He didn't press. He single-handedly killed attacks in the first half by himself through his poor touches, poor positioning. We could talk about and people could complain about, for example, Sancho being useless, but for me, Nkuku is worse because it's one thing being useless. It's another thing, literally seeing an amazing buildup and then having it fall to Nkuku's feet and it just die. You're a net negative. Sancho is nothing. And Nkuku is less than nothing. He's actively.
I don't think Sancho. Here's the thing: is I don't think Sancho is nothing. I just think he's had a couple of bad games. I think Sancho's very.
That's fair enough. I'm speaking about, I would say, the general sentiment in the fan base, right? Like people say,
well, your fan base, your fan base are never being in charge.
So then that's what I'll say about that first half. Immediately within, I would say 3 minutes, Jackson showed me more than I saw in Nkuku 45 minutes. He got the ball in the halfway line, spun. I think it was, who was it? Like somebody in the defense. I know it was Enzo. Enzo saw a run that Jackson was making, pinged it into him, right? Like this is something Nkuku was not doing the entire time. And at a certain point, that's where I'm now going to start blaming the players, right? Because Maresca put the heavy hitters on in the second half and they didn't win the game. What do you want him to do? He put the heavy hitters on and they did not win the game. At that point, it is on the players. You have to score. And Brentford were not having a defense. No, I'll say this, and we had this conversation. Hold up. Havertz, I would take Havertz over Nkuku 100%. Like Nkuku is so bad, I will take, because Havertz at least.
I don't want Nkuku. I don't want Nkuku anywhere.
No. I'm not saying a swap. I'm not saying a swap. I mean, in terms of
you would rather have Havertz
than Nkuku. Yes, 100%, bro. Nkuku is that bad for us right now, man. He's that bad. It's that bad. So, anyways, in the second half, Brentford were not having a defensive masterclass. They were giving us shots outside the box. They were giving us a ton of spaces. We just didn't take advantage. And that's at the point where I stopped blaming Maresca for that, because the system was working. We were playing through them. We were getting decent chances in. Nobody was scoring. What do you want us to say? Like nobody wanted to score the goal like that. And then towards the end of the game, me and Ahmed said about this. There was not only a lack of urgency, we were then making stupid decisions. We're taking shots when there's 3 players in front of you. And I think Palmer did that, and we had a mini crash out because Palmer was at the edge of the box. And as much as you want to slate Sancho was alone in the left side of the box, and Palmer decides to take a shot into 3 people. That of course led to nothing. And at that point, you have to start saying, like, you guys are not making smart decisions. And then when we do get the ball, you guys aren't moving it fast enough. I don't care if it's a draw. I don't care if you're not losing. We're chasing top 4. Teams are going to start catching up to us. And for me, I said this before, since before the Spurs game, we need 5 wins to guarantee top 5. I think 5 wins and it's in our hands. And I think we need to win the next 4. We already got a draw here, so now we have to get a win against Castle pretty much, or Forest, which I don't see necessarily happening. But they're putting themselves into that position now at this point in time.
Yeah, and so I mean, you guys got Legia Warsaw. You'll beat Ipswich.
Yeah,
Fulham will be tough.
Whoa! Don't do that. We lost Ipswich, but we should be doing it.
You should. That was a way. You guys should. You'll beat Ipswich. They're done. They're already.
That's the one thing I will say. We should be beating them. We should be beating them. But the thing is, the way we last I was away, I was expecting it, and then we just didn't.
Yeah, and you got Newcastle and Forest away, bro.
No, but TJ, that's my point. If we from the Spurs game to Everton, we got wins, it wouldn't necessarily matter
My
too
thing
much what happened
is-
with Forest and Newcastle. Now we're putting ourselves in a position where we need to win those games because those are now 6-point games for us, pretty much. We're literally
the thing
killing
is,
ourselves.
the thing for me, and I've always said this before, is that the reason why I looked at a lot of the games that we have initially, obviously we just played Brentford, Ipswich, Everton, who was the other game that Fulham, and even United. I look at all these games, I'm like, you have to be trying to maximize at least 4 out of the 5, right? You have to be maximizing them because the thing is, the moment you draw or the moment you even lose, or there's possibility of a loss, even a draw in general, you're losing points and you're putting too much pressure, bro, on these big games, bro. And Newcastle, and Liverpool, and Nottingham Forest, bro. Like, you're putting way too much pressure on that. I would even technically include United, because the way United is moving right now, they just like to, for some reason, show up for big games. And they always, and for us, whether it's home or away, we always have a competitive game against them, right? It's like, particularly at home. Last year we had like a big goal fest against them, where we were finally able to beat them at home, right? It was a great game. Big up to Palmer for that one. But like, it's always competitive for us against United in general, right? So that's why for me, we need to win these games now. Now we haven't done that. You're putting more pressure onto these games. We're now moving on to Ipswich, which is the next game. That has to be a must-win. Again, you're moving on to Everton after that. So these games are coming thick and fast now. If that makes sense. So you've got to make sure, bro. You've got to be ready mentally, because again, mentality issues, in my personal opinion, also exist in the sense that these guys need to make sure they come in with the right frame of mind into these games and make sure they're there to win the game. No ifs, buts, or maybes, right? And that's pretty much it.
I'm looking at this, and big up Soccer Junkie says would love to see both Chelsea and City miss UCL. Yeah, that would be hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. Possible. Big up for the super chat, and it is possible because look, guys,
difficult, though.
Guys, but Fulham at home, no joke. Liverpool, you're hosting Liverpool. They're still no joke, despite the
fact
everyone
in the top 5 race. We have the hardest run.
Yeah,
they're the hardest run.
It is.
That's not to say, but that's also not to say that the runs aren't hard. Period for all the teams.
Like, how many wins do you see us going? Do you see yourselves getting? Sorry.
I already said this.
Well,
I think I saw.
You shouldn't ask me because I'm considered optimistic.
No, I saw.
Chelsea to win every game.
No. That's the thing. I said we needed 5. I don't think we're getting it. I think we probably get 3. I think we get 3 wins. I think we get 3 wins, and then after that, it's in the hands of God if they show up for the Castle and Forest games. That's it. That's pretty much it.
Big up Steve for joining.
I'm not gonna willingly engage in predictions and stuff like that. That's not for me personally.
You're such a fraud.
You predict us to lose most of the games.
Because I've said 40% chance of us making ECL. That's my current in my calculation. Until I see otherwise from the team, I've got 40% right now in my mind. And you don't forget chat. Mariska out, man. There we go. I look very clean shaven. You know what I mean? Man, need to remove the mustache again. But listen, at the end of the day, you know what I mean? You know how it be. But listen, man. I can't. Why should I be, surprised when I've got, guys like Nkunku up front, who we may have to play,
no matter what, that's for sure.
Listen, Nkunku, guys, we might have to play Nkunku every now and then in these.
I'm gonna do a Google search for Giyu because no one else can find him.
Like Marshall, man. I know you don't like Nkunku. I know you don't like Mar. I don't think you like. I know Marshall doesn't like Nkunku. I don't like Nkunku right now.
I've done a complete 180 on Nkunku. He was like my favorite player going into the season that I was really excited for, and he's completely turned me against him now.
The problem is,
I can't stand the guy.
The problem for me is that we know Sanchez is going to play for the rest of the season pretty much as a star, because he's never going to play through George there, right? So, and for me, it's just like the guys that are going to hold us back are going to play. The guys that we've got in the team in terms of like Jackson and Madueke are going to improve us in terms of performance-wise. Sure. Our issue is going to always be, and I said this to Marshall before, I've said this to RSM before, is the goal scoring, bro. Where are we getting the goal from? Because that is going to be numero uno problem, right? If Palmer's not in form for us to score, if Jackson's not going to be able to even like chip in somewhere, Madueke, I need something from him to even chip in from, because he's the only goal scoring winger we've got, barring maybe even a Neto, right? I need these guys to start chipping in, bro.
But see, here's the thing, and this is why, like, people are gonna call me optimistic and deluded and all this shit.
So
if you look at that Brentford game,
and deluded, please.
Yeah.
If you look at that Brentford game, right? There's two factors here. I would say of all the teams in the top 5 race right now, we probably have the hardest run. But going back to what I said, that doesn't mean that we are the only ones that have a hard run. Newcastle's run isn't that easy. Aston Villa's run is almost as difficult as ours. Man City's run, not easy either. Nottingham Forest probably have the easiest run of all of us, but they could potentially drop points as well.
They have the strongest defense, which I think is a big advantage, to be fair.
But to that factor as well, our defense now has the same amount of goals conceded as them. We're matching them, 37 goals conceded.
The only reason Aston Villa has a bad run is because they're still in 3 competitions.
Yeah, exactly. They're in a tough predicament.
In the Prem though, they have some winnable matches.
Guys, something underrated is Aston Villa have won 7 straight games in all comps. They're heating up at the right time.
Yeah. I think Aston Villa, the benefit
the thing is going to kill them is they're still in 3 comps.
Exactly. They will burn out at some point. Something's got to give.
And I think. Do you think they're going to get past PSG, Steve?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
That is an undefeated PSG in their league.
They will make it tough. They will make it like they'll put up a good fight.
Yeah, they give them a run for their money.
But that's what I'm saying. I think the weeks where they have PSG, I think they're going to give their all in those games.
Yeah,
I really
exactly.
do. And that's why I think
players will be out there.
And then I think in the Premier League, that's then going to affect them in second halves, and that's where we're going to see a bit of the drop off in terms of form.
But in terms of like the way our fixture's going,
then again, they got Southampton. They got Marshall. They got Southampton in between the 2 PSG games.
Yeah, I mean, obviously those are going to be
they're going to smack
winnable.
them like 2-3s up.
But in terms of like the second point that I wanted to make was that you look at that Brentford game, and there are positives to take from it. 1, 4 out of the last 5 games we played, the one game that we didn't keep a clean sheet was Arsenal. We kept a clean sheet. Yeah. One of the biggest worries I had in the beginning of the season is our defense. And I spoke about it on the show multiple times. Our defense is what worries me. We were scoring goals. And now it's completely flip-flopped where, okay, our defense is shored up a little bit more. We're not conceding as much. Obviously, there is always the anxiety of Sanchez and all that stuff. Honestly, it's not even just Sanchez. It's just the goalkeeper scenario in general. But Sanchez is a problem. However, even with that being said, we've managed to keep clean sheets. I think that's a positive. However, the goals have dried up.
And to be clear, that Salamanca cousin you have in net played very well against Brentford.
Yeah,
he played very well.
I mean,
he literally passed the ball in the first 50 minutes. He passed the ball to a Brentford player.
It was 50-50 because he gave the ball away a few times.
But Brentford had had some good key chances and he had some good saves.
But this
that's true.
But this is the issue that we find ourselves with Sanchez, right? Is in terms of being a pure shot stopper, he's good. The issue is everything else. I think his long pass percentage,
his ball distribution is
awful.
I'm not
it's literally, I think it's what is it? I think it was like 35% which basically means like, bro, dude,
I didn't know it was that bad.
Dude, 65, dude, it was like 3 for 15. 65% of the time, the ball is just given to the other team, as if we're literally just like playing on like we're in training. You just give the team, run the play again. It's impossible for us to hold possession when it gets to Sanchez and he has to go long and he just gives it to them up again and again. This is what I mean. Like his issue is, he would be great in a team where they just don't rely on him to play with his feet. He's a good shot stopper, but everything else is such a detriment to our team.
However, in spite of that, we've been able to keep some clean sheets, which I think is a positive. And listen. Maresca said it. If you can't win a game, don't lose it. You can't beat us if you don't score against us. I'm not saying that's how we should go forward and rely on that, our defense. I do think one positive thing that came out of Brentford and that came out of Spurs is that our attack is looking more fluid. If luck was on our side against Brentford, we'd probably score in that game. We had chances. We had Reece James that had a header at goal. We had Nicholas Jackson that had... if Nicholas Jackson started that game and played 75 minutes, we probably would have scored a goal at some point. Palmer as well. Like, we were putting pressure on them. At one point in the game, I think from minute 45 to minute 75, we were constantly knocking on that door. It's just we weren't able to put the chances away.
I think in that time.
What happened?
Flecken.
Yeah. Flecken had to save, had to make 6 saves that game. So that tells me that
was nice. That was good.
Yeah, and to me, it's like, okay, and yeah, we didn't really get to talk about Spurs since last week, but to me, there's chances there. Like, we're just not being lucky in terms of the goal hitting the back of the net. Dude, but we're knocking on the door constantly. At some point, the levee's gonna break.
We could have been 1-0 up in the first minutes. That Reece James cross, if Tosin was literally a half yard quicker, it's happened. That's literally it's happened.
And Tosin even earlier.
Tosin got a header. He got a header. That's what I'm saying. Like, if we in another world, that could have been a 2-0 Tosin brace. It's just like, bro, the margins are this close, and unfortunately, like, we don't have anybody on hot form to get us out of that, bro.
I just don't think that's that type of output where you're constantly knocking on the door is sustainable. At some point, it's gonna give, and there will be. I wouldn't be surprised if in this run of games there's a.
I wouldn't be surprised. This is Chelsea. You seem to forget when we used to have certain players that used to be knocking on the door consistently. Remember those players that we used to have just 3 years ago?
I mean, yes, I get that, but not in this sense. Like, not every goalkeeper that we go up against is going to save every single chance that we give. Back in those days, I would say we weren't even making the goalkeeper work. So I genuinely think, and I wouldn't be surprised that up against one of these 7 teams that we have left, there's a game where we score 2 or 3 more goals. Just because that day we're just clinical on that day. That day we're just not unlucky. So that's why, to me, I do think top 5, top 4 is going to be very possible. It's not just dependent on us. It's also going to be dependent on everyone else dropping points. We're seeing how you guys, Arsenal, just drop points to Everton. Anything can happen in this sport, in this league this season.
We're so bad at Everton. It doesn't matter where they are, but keep going.
It's like, anything can happen, genuinely. Yeah. So it's a 50-50 coin toss.
For me, it's just, the luck right now. Yeah, the fixture list obviously is going to be hard. I do agree with Marshall because this is something I do also agree with, which is that the guys that are the other teams around us are also going to be very hot and cold, a mixture. But the thing is, the only thing I can do is try to make our lives as much easier by doing our jobs. Does that make sense? Like, we have to do our jobs less so than hoping and praying that other guys don't do their jobs, if that makes sense. So, and if I just look at that objectively, right, my thing is that the luck has not been with us for quite a long time. Maybe luck comes in for us now because you know what, we've not been with you for 3 months. Come on, luck, get you that first goal that hopefully gets everyone else rolling. That might be possible.
Hope strategy. This is crazy.
But there's also a very real and realistic reality that the luck this continue does not come for you, right? And the game's the game, as I always say. So so for me personally, right now I'm on a 40-60. I want to see what happens at Ipswich. I think for me, I've said this before. I think the biggest game for us, if as long as stuff goes right fast until that game, is gonna be Newcastle, because
no, don't do this. You said the biggest test was Brentford. Stop.
Yes, and we saw what happened. I'm talking about in terms of security.
Yeah, we saw what happened. You're saying 40% chance. Stick to that.
Yes, it's still 40%. That's what I'm saying. Yes, I'm saying it's not gonna happen. But if I'm Chelsea Football Club, our biggest test is gonna be Newcastle, and the reason why I say that is because Newcastle cannot be. You cannot lose Newcastle in any case possible, bro. Like, you cannot. It has to be a win or minimum draw, bro. Because if that does not happen, bro, because remember, they've got a game in hand on us. So you want to make sure the game that they face you with, if they lose 2 points with, so right, so that's the problem, Marshall.
Yeah,
that's the thing I would say. But
no, but even Steve will tell you, like, Newcastle's form has been up and down. Like, they haven't necessarily.
I mean, we're in a good.
Right now, you're in a good run.
But we're a team of patches. We're a team of streaks.
The thing I would say, that kind of
you're going to beat United though. So
the thing about Newcastle that I want to give them credit for is that Carabao Cup win is definitely going to be the thing that helps to push those guys into those last few games. That's the big positive, right? In terms of sometimes winning like a cup towards the middle period, and because like all you need to do is look at our own club, bro. When we used to win the Carabao Cup, right? Because Mourinho used to make sure we used to win that. I don't remember if we won it on other managers, but the reason why Mourinho used to do that was because he was like, when you win a cup, midway through, bro, it spurs the players on, it re-energizes them, and gives them that hunger and a bit more desire to try to get stuff done towards the end.
Yeah, no, I mean, it doesn't always work that way, but yeah.
Eddie Howe, I've been watching press conferences, obviously. He's doing a good job of keeping the squad very hungry and making sure that he's keeping everybody kind of on their toes. You know what I mean? Like, Gordon could have been in the squad today, but he kind of took it easy on him. He took out Isak when we were doing
Yeah.
I'm so glad you remember.
That was waiting for you, buddy.
Told you it was a layaway. This guy goes. This guy. Oh man.
Look at the look on this guy's face.
So
Vader.
great. It's so funny.
That was beautiful.
Sorry, dude. That super chat literally came in right as you stepped away. So don't.
Yeah, just watch us talk.
Keep going. Watch us talk now.
Proper footy chat. But I mean, like,
he could have gotten away with it too, because I know he has that thing where he records himself and he can just record himself over and over again.
He just loops himself.
But he's still there. He's looped himself. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for.
But like, I'm looking at Newcastle's upcoming fixtures. They're not easy.
Our away
either.
games are tougher than our home ones.
I mean, United. I'm expecting you guys to beat United, but United are also one of those teams that have been doing decently. You know, they haven't been as bad as they've been lately, or they were in the beginning with Amarim. Crystal Palace are on good form as well. Like,
that's a draw for me.
Yeah, Aston Villa, another tough match.
That could be a loss.
Yeah, Brighton is not an easy match either. You know, I expect you guys to win, but Brighton is not easy.
Brighton are one of our bogey teams. It's
like you got Ipswich in there, which I'm expecting you guys to beat. Chelsea, you know, that could be either way. Arsenal, and then Everton. Like, they're not easy games either. So
it depends what Arsenal and Everton are good as mid-table. Like,
yeah, but they haven't been losing either. Everton could potentially make you drop points just because you can't score. So it's a tricky fixture. It could be anyone's game. That's why I'm not saying we're not gonna make it to top 4 or top 5. But at the same time, I'm not overly optimistic that we're gonna make it. I do believe our team has the talent to do it. If our team finds the form that we were in the beginning of the season, it's so on. We're perfectly capable of doing it. And I do believe to an extent, Maresca, you must have learned from the mistakes you made in the beginning of the season against these teams that you're going up against. You know, I'm talking about your Liverpools. I'm talking about Newcastle. I'm talking about Nottingham Forest and United. So hopefully, if this is a manager that's learning on the job, that is as good as, you know, he's touted out to be in terms of like his potential talent, let's see what happens. Let's see what he can cook. And we have Jackson back. We have Palmer back. Nani back. Lavia may or may not come back. I know Fofana's out for the season because he's made out of glass. Let's see what happens, man.
Yeah, you know who doesn't make it elite though? Enzo Fernandez. Bye, move. Thank you.
Can someone put him in jail already?
You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. You know. I realized today.
I realized that helped us
take a night off.
Of leaving. I realized today that he matched Jorginho in terms of. You remember Jorginho was the highest goal scorer. Big up to him, man. W Enzo, man. You know what I mean? Living up to this position.
I don't understand the agenda.
Big up Don Hussam, Steve Ahmed, and Roberto make this show elite. Yeah.
Man. Big up to his time, man.
Ahmed, hashtag Ahmed hype.
Don Hussam, I'm questioning your taste.
Ahmed hype.
I mean, he understands, man. He knows ball, man. He knows ball.
I agree with this, though. Yeah. Who knows ball?
Not Don Hussam after that comment.
Yeah.
You know.
Dang it, Vader can't even respond. Vader can't even respond to this comment. That's crazy.
People were saying in the chat earlier that people were saying in the chat earlier that you're scared to come on the show. I just said it's too late for you. I said it's like, what is it, like 3:45 in the morning in Jordan right now. So I can't really give him too much shit about that, to be honest. Brad Hussam strikes again. I agree. You got Newcastle. You said you guys are on a good tear. I agree. Obviously, good. You guys haven't lost since Liverpool in the season earlier in the season, right? You guys are on a tear. I think.
Yeah. Let me check.
No, you lost to Brighton. But other than that,
FA Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the Man City battering the 4-0. But other than that, it's like what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Drunk Vigo, I don't need any help.
9, 10. Out of our past 10 games in all comps, 3 L's, 7 wins. That's not too bad. Bad. We'll take
you guys. You guys gonna keep your spot in the UCL? Say it.
Barely.
Yeah.
I think just barely. And a big part of it actually is gonna be Jacob Murphy, bro. That guy's had what? 8 goals.
He's having a pretty underrated season. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Let me check. Is it? Yeah. Or 5 and 9. 5 and 9. Yeah, not bad. No, but I think we got enough goals in the team. That's probably what I'm and midfield 3 being healthy as well. Backline's been pretty good.
Can I just say something? It is interesting. It is interesting that Kukurea, came on our main goal scoring man, couldn't score. So just want to point that out, so, man. Thanks.
Fraud. He's a fraud, man.
Total fraud.
Can you bring
all jokes aside, please let's make it happen.
Steve, what's our chances tomorrow? Choose next in the cell. Big up Mina for the super chat every single time.
Oh,
Mina, an Arsenal fan.
Oh, I don't give Arsenal a fucking chance.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
Neither do. I mean,
I give Borussia Dortmund and I give Arsenal the same amount of chance to get past those two teams. Probably about 20 to 15%, something like that. Anyone dispute it?
No, we were talking about that. We were talking about that earlier, and I said Will asked me what my confidence was, and I said 3 out of 10. Like I think we can get a result at the Emirates, but at the Bernabeu, it's not going to happen. So the lights are going to be very.
I got it. Here you go. You're welcome.
Yeah, the lights are going to be very bright.
The lights are bright.
The lights are going to be. They're going to be bright. What can I say? What can I say?
That's crazy. Steve, you get to choose who goes to the cell.
Nah, he just said Ahmed. Ha 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 ha.
Real ball knowledge right there, man.
Enjoying raw, man. Enjoying raw.
100%. Yeah, he's enjoying. No, he's enjoying raw. Of course. He's got a TV in the cell. Will has a DS in the cell. I'm gonna have to confiscate some of this shit. You guys are being absolutely crazy. You guys are being absolutely crazy. Be a man and drink a beer in the cell like I do, or Marshall does. But you know what? Marshall hasn't been sent to the cell in a long time. You want to know why?
Yeah, because I don't really waffle. I speak facts. Pure facts.
You're waffling right now.
No, I'm not.
For some reason,
just because you're hungry doesn't mean I'm waffling.
That's crazy.
Get put in jail sentence for my life.
That was wrong with that. Automatic. Sorry, I ain't gonna lie. I'll take an L on that one.
This guy's got dad jokes, and as far as he knows, he doesn't have any kids. We need to figure out.
As far as I know, yes.
As far as he knows.
Knock on wood for me.
Hey, Vader,
child out there.
Vader, what are you saying? What are you saying by that? What do you mean by that, Vader?
Can't afford this right now. Economy's tough.
I was saying
those tariffs are really killing us.
This is wild. No, listen. Terribly sorry for my timing. I enjoyed the show. There's going to be more cooking. There's going to be more cooking as we continue on. Are you going to do a match reaction, TJ? Just so I know, with regards to.
Yeah, I am. Before I have to go and defend myself against Flawless. Yeah.
All right. Good to know. I'll do my best to be tuned into both shows. I'll definitely catch the match reaction.
Jesus.
Yeah. Listen, but we got to say this, guys, because don't take for granted that you're playing in the UCL, TJ. All right, that's the one thing.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Cherish every moment, DJ.
Yeah, he's like.
It's like that scene out of that scene out of Billy Madison. Cherish it. You gotta cherish it.
You gotta cherish it.
Vader's telling you that right now because he might not have UCL next season.
Thank you. So don't take it for granted. You're not here every
Vader's
year.
not as optimistic as I thought you would be. Actually,
you'll be in the Europa League, and that's fine. And you can gas that up.
Actually, what's Man City's run? I know it's not easy, but
the Europa is not the same as the UCL. Let's not do that. But we're gonna break this down properly.
Man City in the Europa. Ooh.
Shout out to all my Americans. Shout out to my man with the visa in the cell right now. But I'll catch you guys.
Yeah, big up Vader. Yeah, we're gonna wrap before Ahmed gets a chance to get out of the cell. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Go.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Let's leave him locked up.
More than understandable.
Big up Strasbourg C for joining. Big up everybody in the chat that joined. Big up everybody that dropped a super chat. SDFC Benny, and Mina and Soccer Junkie, and Mina dropped another super chat as well. So big up you guys. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Soccer Junkie. It's called soccer. After that international break, I'm calling it football. I'm not gonna lie.
Listen, I'm glad I wasn't there, but
bro, never again.
Got super chat, TJ.
We got gold cup to the bottle.
Oh my god, I was asking about Bayern.
Oh, okay. Bayern versus Internazionale. I don't feel great about it. I can't lie. I don't feel great. Like, the way that Kane gets goals is a lot of them are in the air, and Inter Milan defensively on set pieces and defending in the air, they're outstanding at it. So unless it's an absolute peach of a cross and Bastoni or Acerbi doesn't get to it, they kind of take that out of our game. And the counterattack suits Inter really, really well. And our defense is awful. So I don't really feel great about the Inter tie. I think it'll be a 1-1 at the Allianz and I don't know, a 1-0 or a 2-0 Inter at their place. I'll be so real.
DeMarco plays on the left back, right?
Guys, 45 seconds before he leaves. 45 seconds before he's out.
Yeah, DeMarco versus Olise. I don't think Olise will have as easy as a time as I thought he would. But yeah, it'll be a tough one.
The thing is with Inter, they're a team of two halves. We have to catch them lacking at the wrong, because that Parma on the weekend, they were very good first half. Second half, they fucked it.
Yeah, defensively, they're really sound too. So yeah, you got a good point as always, Steve.
All right,
wrap it up,
guys. That's the show. Big up everybody. We're gonna redirect you over to Aaron Talks Arsenal. Go and subscribe to his channel. He's about to hit 500 subs. Go over there.
Yeah, we don't care, man.
Boy. You know what? I don't care. You know what? That's enough from you. He's out of here. All right. Big up RSM. Big up Marshall. Big up Steve every single time, and obviously big up my bros that are not here that I had to leave earlier. Obviously Mike Das, Will, Vader, that absolute fraud, and I know, and Sheik, of course. Until next time, guys, go over there and show Aaron some love. Say TJ Warren TV raid, and we will see you next time. Later.
You're not God. You don't have the answers. You don't have the answers, Connor. You don't have the answers. Let's just say that you don't have the answers.